Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to JUENFO Kitchen, where we just enjoy food. So let's enjoy some delicious chicken soup, Jamaican style. Alright, so let's start by seasoning our chicken. Seasoning the chicken actually makes a huge difference in terms of the flavor for our soup. So I have here a little over 2 pounds of chicken, and I'm using a mixture of both breast and thigh. And this is bone-in chicken, by the way. The bones give the soup a lot more flavor. I have already cleaned it with vinegar and removed the skin and trimmed off the excess fat. I didn't really cut it that small because it's gonna boil out in the soup anyway. And I want to see nice chunks of chicken when I'm done cooking my soup. I'm not gonna go too crazy with this seasoning because we're gonna be adding a lot more flavor to our soup later on. I have here a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. If you have chicken seasoning, that probably would be ideal, so you can use that instead, or you could use a little with the all-purpose, some salt, and a little bit of black pepper. I'm also gonna add a heaping tablespoon of my green seasoning. If you don't know what green seasoning is, it's a blend of fresh herbs. I have 2 videos. I'll go ahead and link them for you above as well as in the description below. And I like to start my soups with some onion and garlic. So what I'm gonna do is to just dump that right into the chicken and let it marinate. Right, so instead of just adding it to the water like I usually do, I'm just gonna use it to marinate my chicken. And you wanna allow this to marinate for at least an hour or overnight if you have the time. For the remainder of our ingredients, we have our ground provisions here. I'm only using Irish and yellow yam today, but you can basically use whatever you like. Next, we have our vegetables, which is pumpkin, which is nice and fresh from my garden, 1 Cho-Cho and 1 large carrot. Again, you can always add your favorite vegetables, such as corn, celery, or whatever you like. We have some fresh herbs here, which is scallion, pimento or allspice, scotch bonnet pepper, and some fresh thyme. I have my pack of chicken noodle soup. Over here we have our dough for our dumplings that I already kneaded off camera. I actually have a tutorial on how to make boiled dumplings, so I go ahead and link that for you. So if you have no idea on how to make Jamaican boiled dumplings, you can go ahead and check that video out. And of course our chicken that we seasoned earlier. I'm gonna start by partially cooking the chicken. So to a big pot of water here, I'm gonna just dump my chicken in. If you have allowed your chicken to marinate in your fridge, just take it out and let it come to room temperature or as close to room temperature as possible before you add it to your pot. I'm gonna cover, bring this to a boil, and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes while I work on the rest of my ingredients. I almost forgot, I'm gonna throw in half of the pumpkin, and this is gonna dissolve and give it that nice rich color. And I'm also gonna throw in my pimento as well. Alright, so I'm done cutting up my ingredients. I have my ground provisions here and I have my vegetables. I have my ground prov in a little bit of water, and this helps with the oxidization, which is what causes them to turn black. If you want, you can add a little bit of lemon or lime juice to the water, but make sure that you rinse them well because you don't want that in your soup. Alright, and I cut these up, you know, probably about medium size. If you want them smaller or bigger, you can cut them up or as big or small as you like. And I separated the 2 because I'll be adding them at different points during the cooking process. I went ahead and added another Cho-Cho because I have so many of them and I want to use them up as quickly as possible. Also, if your ground provision is a little bit over or under by a few ounces, that's okay. They don't have to be exact. The good thing with soup is that it's pretty foolproof, so the ingredients can be easily adjusted. My chicken has been boiling for 15 minutes. And one of the main reasons why it's important to clean up your meat is so that you don't have all those impurities floating on top. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump in my ground provisions, which I've drained the water from. And I'm gonna allow this to boil for another 15 minutes or so. After another 15 minutes, I'm gonna start to add in my dumplings. I'm gonna be doing 2 shapes. I'm gonna roll some like this. And I'm gonna be making some spinners as well. And like the ground provisions, you can make these as big or small as you like. I'm also gonna dump in my soup mix, my vegetables, and the rest of my seasonings, pretty much everything else. And I'm gonna cover and allow this to cook down for a good little while. Alright guys, so our soup is pretty much done. I allowed this to boil for another half hour and I added in the salt 5 minutes ago. Now you want to add your salt last because remember that the pack soup has salt in it and we seasoned the chicken with salt and we don't want to over salt our soup. So you add the salt last according to your taste. And just look how nice and rich the soup is, guys. This beautiful color is from the pumpkin, and this is the reason why we add some of it first in order for our soup to get this nice rich color. Now this is a fairly large pot of soup, but the recipe is such that you can easily cut the ingredients in half if you want to make a smaller pot. I really enjoy this chicken soup and I know you will too. Check out these other soup recipes. I'll leave them here on the screen. Remember to hit the like button, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will know when I upload weekly. Let's stay connected on all my other social media and visit my website. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, live life to the fullest and just enjoy food.